Podcast. I am your host, DJ Los, and I'm here with Shiva, Kailash, Shambho, 29-year-old meditation spiritual master. And today's episode is who is better at getting girls? And I just want to put it out there. This was not my idea. I would never in a million years come on here and try to just toot my own horn. This is actually Shiva's idea for whatever reason. I don't understand. Shiva, maybe you can shed some light. I'll let you go ahead and open up the subject.
Wow. I like how you turned it against me. All the pressure right back on me now. Yes, I thought this was a valuable conversation. I thought it'd be entertaining. We can go live and chat about this. And we both know who the real ladies' man is. I got that nice white robe, turban, spiritual life game, and you got that sitting in a wheelchair game, which...
Woo. Hold on a second. We need to play some sad music. We need to play some sad music for me now. I got that I got paralysis, so obviously there's no way I can get more than you now. Clearly.
Yeah, but regardless, this is not just about.
So that's the angle we're going with, though. That's where this is going.
No.
I'm paralyzed and you're not, and so you can get more girls. Wow, that's.
I mean, that would make me very petty, but I'm not that petty. I'm a little petty. Even before this situation happened, still I feel like maybe if we talked in front of a group of girls, just two of us, 30 girls, I would charm them, and you would kind of yell at them and tell them to go away. Maybe some girls are attracted to that, but yeah, I think I'm better.
Shout out Big Riz in the chat. We got Riz in the chat saying, yo, let's listen to the Masters with an S at the end. So he's actually including you in that sense.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Big Riz. Riz, today's topic once again, we're going to be talking about who is better at getting girls. I don't know why Shiva wants to talk about this, but again, I'm still waiting, Shiva, on what the angle is. So far, you said it's because I'm paralyzed. Obviously, you're going to get more girls than me. What else? What else are you coming with?
Let's see.
Because I do have a retort to that, but I don't want to start there because I don't really want to believe that was your angle to begin with. So
okay. So we're going to talk about our past a little bit here and talk about some ideas and philosophies. Carlos has always, I've known Carlos as a womanizer. Women like Carlos for some reason. And he was with the girls and had lots of breakups. By the way, that's when you know you're doing it wrong, by the way. Just shout out to you, Carlos. Because if you're with girls and you're having lots of breakups, it's like, hey, it's obviously not working. You're doing it wrong. If you had a relationship that's like 10 plus years and you're married, it'd be like, oh my God, Carlos is amazing. But it's like you get in a car and you keep on getting into accidents. That's not the way to do it. You should have your license revoked.
I love that. Can I give a response to that real quick?
Yeah. What is your opinion?
So on top of the fact that I attract lots of women, I also happen to not give a rat's behind what they think, unfortunately for them. And that's what causes the breakups. But I'm willing to live with that. So I learned a long time ago that no matter how nice you are to women, they can still break up with you. And so I learned, you know what? If it's going to be either way, then I'm just going to be a dickhead. So shout out to me. I became a dickhead. World's biggest one. And I'm controlling, I'm manipulating, I'm just super jealous. I basically tell girls what they can wear, what they can post, who they can talk to, where they can where they can go. So yeah, definitely lots of breakups. But guess what? Because I'm able to get so many girls, or I'm not even gonna say so many girls, because I'm able to get enough girls, I'm fine with the fact that they leave me because of my misogynistic ways. So shout out to me. Still consider that a W for myself.
I see. Okay. How am I going to spin this right back at you? Towards myself? Make myself look better? How can I spin this? Well, something I've heard you, Carlos, talk to your girlfriends, and you're very brash, very rude like. And I think this is my suspicion that you don't really listen. You kind of girls talk to you and you're like, no, this is the way it is. I don't care about your opinion. And that's good in a sense, but you don't listen in terms of you gotta be respectful to their feelings. Girls are very feeling.
100%. 100%.
Gotta be more.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that you brought that up, actually. And you know what? In a sense, you're actually right. Okay. But, however, I'm going to have to say this. I'm also the type of guy, maybe not in maybe not in the present sense because I'm currently paralyzed. God decided to torture me for a couple of years, I guess. But in my previous life, I was also the type of guy that I would say, hey, you know what? I'm also going to pay all of your bills at the same time.
Well,
And I'm also going to, if somebody comes to the door, I'm going to be the one to go answer it and protect the household. And I'm the one that's taking out the trash. And I'm the one that's whatever else you could possibly think of. If there's an emergency, I'm the one handling it. If, somebody's disrespectful for you, I'm going to stick up for your honor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so therefore, if I'm in charge of your safety and your finances, then I should have some level of control as well, so that I don't get myself into a situation that I can't handle, honestly. And I can expand on that, but again,
wow.
big shout out to me.
Okay, please expand on that. Tell us more.
Okay, so basically, it's like this, right? So I'm a man, and one thing that men have to understand, for example, is that the first thing, see, men have this confused, and I actually learned this from the movie Braveheart. You ever watched Braveheart before? You seen it? Okay, I don't know if you remember the part where his son, Mel Gibson's son, he picked up a sword and he wanted to learn how to fight, and Mel Gibson rebuked him, and he goes, "No, you need to learn how to use this before you learn how to use this, the sword, right?" And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I remember hearing that because obviously the movie's Braveheart, and he's obviously like a badass warrior. So you would think like, oh, he would be like proud of his son learning how to fight. But what he told them was, no, you need to learn how to use your brain before you focus on fighting other men, right? And so basically, what I learned quickly, and I also ended up hearing this same lesson from multiple other of my, let's call them, what do you call it? People that you look up to? What do you call those? Role models. Not mentor, but like role models. So I've had several role models. Like, for example, like when I was a teenager, for example, I used to hang out with this guy that was like in his 30s. And me and him would hang out and go places and go out to clubs and bars or whatever. And this guy was the bravest person I've ever met in my life. He would literally, it would be him against 30 dudes. And somehow he would make 30 guys back down. He was that crazy. He was insane, right? And he would fight constantly. He would try to fight me. I was terrified of him at the time, but he would fight everyone. He was a fighter, right? But I remember one day, it was something very interesting happened. This one guy somehow ended up with his girlfriend long term, and he wanted to confront this guy, right? Because he's that type of guy. He's a confrontational guy. He was like, I'm gonna call this guy out. So he calls the guy out, and he finds out who he is, what his size is, he kind of gets an idea of his capability, and he realizes, you know what, I'm probably gonna lose this one. And he actually backed down for the first time that I ever saw in my life. And I was like, whoa, dude, like I've seen you literally stand up against 30 men. And he told me, and he was like, dude, sometimes you just got to know when you're going to take the loss. So this is one thing, going back to the point, is this. It doesn't matter how brave you are. It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter how tough you are. You got to know if you're going to take the loss, you're going to take the loss, right? And so your job in protecting a woman doesn't always necessarily mean that you're going to be the biggest, baddest, toughest guy out there. Sometimes it means avoiding situations that you can't handle, okay? And as a result of that, my woman has to therefore listen to me when I tell her, hey, I don't think you should be doing this. Because more than likely, I'm trying to help her avoid getting us both into something that I won't be able to get us out of. Does that make any sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So, like for example, like if I'm at a bar, let's say, and there's a guy hanging around, and he's like trying to hit on my girl or whatever, and I see that he's bigger than me, and I'm like, babe, let's move over here, and she's like, no, I'm over here. I want to have a lot of fun. Da, 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 da. That's not my girl anymore. Immediately, she's not my girl because now she's putting herself in a situation where he might get disrespectful, or he might touch her, or he might whatever, and then now I have to try to do something about it to protect her honor, and I can't because let's say he's bigger than me or whatever, or he has weapons, or maybe he has a bunch of friends with him, right? And because she wants to do whatever she wants and be completely like, I don't need a man type behavior, then she puts both of our lives in danger. And even if it let's say our lives aren't in danger, at the least her honor is going to be basically like diminished, and I can't stand for that. So I would probably sit there and have to like lose my life just because she wants to be, a free spirit or whatever the heck. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I remember also one time, and I hate to mention this guy because honestly I don't know how I feel about him at this point with his court case going on. But the bald guy that looks like me with the muscles and the money and the cars and the Bugattis. He gave a story one time of even him as a professional world champion kickboxer. He went to the club with his girl one day, and after the club, they went to go get something to eat, and they were standing in line at this place to get some food. All of a sudden, a car pulled up with like 6 guys jumped out. They jump in front of the line and start ordering food. And the rest of the line is like, oh, these guys are intimidating. They're big. They're big jack guys. They obviously have the balls to do what they did. They clearly don't give a damn about any consequences. And so, this guy's anyway. Andrew Tate's girlfriend was about to say something, like, who do you think you are? And he goes, "Shut up, shut up." Okay. And then his girl's like, what do you mean? Like, what? And she's like, just shut up. Okay. And you got to think, Andrew Tate's a big guy. He's like 7 feet tall. He's muscular as hell. He's a world champion, 2 times world champion kickboxer. You would think he would be the first one to do something about that. But he decided, you know what? These guys are clearly here to start trouble. They probably have the means to back it up. And they might just be willing to risk it all. They might be willing to lose their lives over this situation. And so I'm going to choose to not get myself involved. And so in this scenario, instead of dealing with them, I'm going to deal with the one that the girl that I'm with. And I'm basically going to exert some level of control over her and tell her to keep her mouth shut. 2 seconds later, another girl with another guy decided to open her mouth and started saying, oh, and her man had no control over her and let her just ramble on. And guess what happened? The 6 guys beat the crap out of her boyfriend, beat the crap out of her, still got the food, still got back in their car and left like nothing happened.
Let me turn down the heat for one moment.
The heat of this conversation. So anyway, listen, this is why for all the ladies out there, you need to listen to your man. You know what I mean? If you want to be big and brash and you want to be all out there, then get yourself a big scary man. If you want to be if you think that you can't get yourself a big, the problem with those big scary men like that, they get a lot of girls. And so usually the problem that you're going to have with getting those type of guys is that they're probably going to cheat on you. So you got to play the middle ground, girls. Anyway, Shiva, go ahead. Give me your response to what I just said.
Wow. Well, turn down the heat, both literally and metaphorically.
Mm-hmm.
What can I share? What can I say? Let me think. This is why
W for Carlos. W for Carlos again, as usual. Common W.
No. You don't get to decide that. I'm the host of the show. The only points that you'll get if I acknowledge them. But yes, that's very scary.
By the way, can we take a second to recognize your friend Dan? What is it, Danny in the Discord? I want to shout out Danny in the Discord. The video that he made, the little montage. Excellent video. I hope you make one of those for me one day, Danny. Go ahead, Shiva.
Yes. Well, girls like strength, girls like men fighting over them. I'm sure if you're a girl in that situation, no, you should stand up for me, you should fight. She doesn't really care about you. She cares about, let's see who wants me more. Let's have them battle to the death if they want, and then I'll take the bigger,
winner.
braver. Yeah, exactly.
That actually happens. Insane. Unfortunately, that actually does happen. Some girls are like that.
Yes. Simultaneously, also, yes, I'm agreeing with you here that if you're a man, you should take care of your girl. You should provide for her, pay for basically everything, and you should make sure that you're safe. That her safety is your priority. And if she does something that's threatening her survival, likely it's also threatening your survival. That's okay, lady. Either time for you to go, there's the door, or you better do as I say. But hey, maybe you're wrong as a man. Sometimes you are. So be gentle here. And this is why I don't go out. Not for that reason, but chase girls also. It's like, nah. I'm playing the long game. I'm going to share with you some secrets here. I'm playing the game where I acquire the knowledge, number one, then the resources, then the power, then come the women. That hasn't happened yet. I've just acquired the knowledge. Now is the resources. I'm tingling in the door. I'm knocking on the door. Hello, YouTube. Then the power. I'll be with all these famous guys, Jake Paul. And I'll be chatting with them. And then only after the women. And the woman that's going to choose me, all of the resources have to be considered and taken account for. She's not going to be, leaving me because of this or that. No, it's going to have to be something much deeper than I have big muscles or I'm strong or I'm rich. It's got to be, if you're in this, we're going forever. There's no, I found a better guy. Who? Better guy? I don't know yet. But hey, I'm progressing. And that's what I want to say. So we got some chats. Let me ask before you. Well, yeah, you respond whatever. Tell us what you think.
I mean, are you going to be reading chats while I talk, or are you going to be?
No, you respond, and then we'll go to the chat later.
Yeah. So I would just say that you. I hate to say it because you know what? I'm to the point now where I don't even want to make fun of you anymore. But I feel like your answer is a little naive, because my immediate question that comes to mind is, what how would you be able to gauge that you would be meeting that type of a woman without actually having to spend time with her? And the thing about it is that, from my experience, it takes months before a woman really shows her real, true nature. So I think your answer is a little naive, and I think anybody with any experience with women would agree on that subject. But I mean, I guess you'd probably take the stance that you're more perceptive than I am, and just like said Guru, you'd lock eyes with some girls at a restaurant, and you'd both start crying and instantaneously get married or some nonsense.
Yes. Let me respond to this, and then I'll read the chat. You'll have the freedom to read your chat also. I completely agree. I disagree. Maybe I'm naive. Hey, who knows? I'm 29 years old. I'm still a youngster, I guess. So definitely there's some naivete in me. But hey, what am I looking for? How do I know? How do I guarantee? First and foremost, she's got to be a virgin. You're not a virgin? There's the door. Sorry. You're already disqualified. So that makes it guaranteed that you're investing me fresh from the start. You haven't had a boyfriend here. If you had a boyfriend here, I'm just next in line. Hey, and then what? You find someone better? Gone. No. It has to be someone that is absolutely committed to me or committed to this relationship. How do I guarantee that? She has to be a virgin. And yes, I am spiritual and insightful, and I will, in one moment, know, okay, you're my girl. Time to go. That hasn't happened yet.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you about that. That thing is actually true, what you just said. I can't disagree with you. I think that if you do find yourself that I hate even using that word. It almost sounds disgusting to me to say, but if you get yourself that girl with no experience or whatever the heck, uh yeah, there's definitely a better opportunity because she has nothing to compare you to, right? That's usually what happens. And I mean, it's statistically actually proven by data that once a girl has like more than three partners, she's automatically like loses her ability to pair bond and is way more likely to jump from guy to guy to guy to guy.
Wow.
Just because I mean, if anyway, I don't even want to give too much tea on that because some girls that don't know this might use that to their advantage. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. If you do get yourself a virgin, she will definitely. She's much more likely to just appreciate you for what you are, and she won't have this thought process of all these other men that she can think back on and be like, oh, this guy was so much better. I wish I had somebody else like that, or you know what I mean? So, because that's an actual thing that happens.
Yeah. Wow.
So I do agree with you on that. But my counter argument to that is this, and I hope you take this the right way, and I hope women also please take this the right way, and men do not misconstrue what I'm trying to say here. So those women that you're talking about are literally the cream of the crop, is what you're talking about in terms of women. Because I'm assuming you want somebody attractive, right? And if she's going to be a untouched woman, she's probably going to be relatively. She's not going to be old. Let's put it that way, right? And so basically, she's going to be an attractive, not old woman with no kids. Okay. And what I want you to understand is that in the sexual marketplace, that is literally the highest possible thing. Like that's the highest rung for a woman to reach. To be self-controlled, to be spiritual, to be untouched, to be clean, to be beautiful, to be untraumatized. That's like the most sought after prize that exists. And so to contrast that, I would say, and this is something that I wish you would take into consideration, is you would have to consider the hierarchy on the sexual marketplace for men. Does that make sense? So the sexual marketplace for women is we value women with less experience, and on the flip side, women value men with more experience. Does that make sense? And obviously, with experience comes the ability to create resources, et cetera, develop their personality, providers, protectors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I hate to break it to you, but I just don't think you meet any of that criteria. Sorry.
No problem. I take it well.
Do you want to read comments or do you want to respond to what I'm saying? I got a couple of comments as well.
I'll respond, then we'll read some comments. Yeah, you're wrong, unequivocally. I understand where you're coming from, but again, as I said, as Mr. Whoever the guy that was in the Scarface movie, Tony Montana said, well, I'm kind of paraphrasing my version: knowledge, resources, power, then women. So I'm working on it, and hey, I'm better than those guys. Even though I don't have $1 million like some of these boxers, movie stars, I'm just better than them as a man. All right, that's why you should choose me. Anyways, let's move on. Let's read some comments.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Someone asked me if I've ever been in a relationship with a girl. We should talk about next. I'll dive deep. Okay. Dangly Lingam, someone who's been watching my channel for a while. Shout out to you, sir. Welcome. He says, nature decides attraction, make no effort. I strongly agree with that. No amount of hair cutting or muscle building can override the law of attraction. Ooh, we should have him on a show. I'm sure he would be an interesting character to talk to and have some interesting perspectives towards you, Carlos. Be spiritual, but try to remain human in the process. Yes. Don't try, make no effort. That's called life. People meet, especially if you've on the planet for 29 years. No marketplace. Not a marketplace I want to. Yeah, that's it. So let's hear some of the comments that you have.
I mean, I want to address some of those. Some of those got some good talking points, but
Okay.
yeah, let's address some of those. Let's address some of those.
Yeah.
What was the one that guy that said that nature decides, not no
So
amount of what? What did he
Dangly
say?
Lingam says nature decides attraction, make no effort. No amount of hair cutting or muscle building can override the laws of attraction.
Okay,
And
let me ask you this: what is unnatural about having big muscles?
uh, nature decides attraction. Well, I think no,
What an
it's not.
idiot!
It's not natural. I mean, it's
What
not.
an idiot! Like what a name like Dangly Lingham. No, no, of course. Dangly Lingham. When was the last time that you put your Dangly Lingham, your Dangly Lingham inside of a female? Listen, there's nothing more natural than having big muscles and being able to provide resources. That's literally the deciding factor of who gets the most females in every species. Like literally. So that's literally the most natural thing. So what are you talking about? What was the next guy's comment?
Be spiritual, but try to remain in a human in the process. Don't try, make no effort, and not a marketplace I want to enter. This is a trip called life. People meet, especially if you've been on the planet for 29 years.
I don't get that point. Do you get it? Do you get what he's trying to say there?
Not really. Someone asked me if I've been in a relationship. That's what I missed before.
No. I want about the marketplace. He said he doesn't want to enter the marketplace.
Yeah, he's, I guess, sexual
Ah, I
marketplace.
see. I see. Make no effort. Okay. So again, I would just revert back to nature again on that.
Yes.
Again, the guys with the animal with the most productivity, aka the most energy, the most ability, is the one that gets the most females. That's the most natural thing possible. And unfortunately for you guys, the data says the same thing about human beings. Top 10 producers, top 10 earners in this world get the most amount of females. So whether you want to enter it or not is completely irrelevant. I know you don't want to enter it. Nobody does because it's difficult. It's hard to become top 10%. So who's going to say, yeah, I want to do that. I want to compete against the top 10% producers in the world and outwork them. Nobody wants to do that. But that's why it's valuable and that's why it's highly sought after by females.
Wow.
Top 10% of men get 80% of the women. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that a crazy statistic?
Well, first of all, you're not a animal, number one. Well, at least not that in that way. And number two, you shouldn't get all the women. What is that? You should get one good one that'll stay with you for a long time, that'll provide what a woman provides. And yes, absolutely, you're right. I have no disagreement. You need to be a powerful man. So Danglingam responded, who cares about who gets the most? That's not the point. Someone else said, are you a human being or a human creature or a being? Yes, so
No. You're the one who reverted to nature, and I'm talking about nature. We're a part of nature. Stop trying to separate the two. Second of all, it is about who gets the most because you know why? When you have one to choose from, you might choose the wrong one. But when you have 30, then you have the opportunity to contrast and compare and say, you know what? I like this one's quality. This one's better. This one, you learn things. You say, oh, you actually learn what you like. You actually learn about who's compatible with you and who isn't, what type of personality types, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you only learn that through having many options.
so let's explore this. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's explore the
Hold on, can I give myself a round of applause? I'm just like demolishing not only you but also all of your chit chatters over there.
I wouldn't call it that. Anyways, let's continue on. Let's discuss the nature's principles of attraction, both towards women and towards men. That's what
Wait. You're moving on from your comment section because I got comments too.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
All right, so I got Rizzo says no hating on either one of y'all. Life happens, but for men, responsibility without authority is slavery. Oh my gosh, hit it right on the head. Responsibility without authority is slavery. Men should not be providers with no say in the relationship. Absolutely, 100%. Um, we got Asm98765431 says, "Why does this guy never wash his outfit?" I don't know. It looks pretty clean. It
How can you
doesn't
tell?
look
I
dirty to
wash
me.
it, buddy.
Okay. Asm98754321 also says, "Can you please speak on why you wouldn't want a gold digger if your point of view is that resources are the reason that women flock to you?" No, I can't speak on that, Asm, because I actually want a gold digger. That's what I want you guys to understand. Listen to me. Women, my advice to you is be a gold digger, please. Do not let men shame you into not digging for gold. Okay? Okay, we all dig for gold here. Men are gold diggers, women are gold diggers. Shiva, are you not digging for life's gold?
I 100% am.
You sure are, and women should too. So this is the thing that word gold digger has been used to shame women, basically, to say, "Oh, you're only here for the money," as if like money just falls out of the sky or something. Let me tell you something, and this is for you too, Shiva. Money only comes when you fix everything about yourself. Do you understand that? That's why you'll never hear you. Well, not that you'll never, but you. That's why sometimes you hear a girl and you ask her what she's looking for in a man, and it's very interesting the things that they say. They're like, "I want somebody ambitious, charismatic, funny, good with people, polite, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." Guess what all those things put together gets you?
Monet.
Monet. Thank you very much. Exactly. So it's not, you can't talk about gold digger. Like forget throw that concept out of your head, man. Get think in the terms of, yes, you should want a gold digger. Why? Not because like you just want a girl who just wants you for your money, but obviously if you're, first of all, if you're attractive, that's also a statistic as well. The more attractive you are, you tend to make more money over the lifespan than unattractive people. If you're intelligent, you tend to make more money. If you're educated, you tend to make more money. If you're charismatic, you tend to make more money. If you're good with people and you know how to get along, you have an agreeable personality. Well, actually, look, you have to have a little bit of both. Whatever, all of these qualities come along with making money. So yes, women should look for men who make money, because usually, if they're as long as they're in control of themselves, it comes with a lot of good qualities. So okay, let's say she's like, "I don't want a gold digger, but I want a guy who's intelligent and ambitious." Something wrong with that? Absolutely not. So no, I'm sorry, Azim, I can't make an argument for you. I know that you probably thought I was the guy to make the argument for that, but no, I support the gold diggers here.
I agree.
100%.
Someone said that this is brain rot. Maybe he's talking about you, Carlos. You please
Of course he
expand.
is.
Why is brain rot? But yes,
Yeah, tell him to expand. Let me see. He says, "What if another man comes along with more money than you?" Yeah, I mean that's good. That's the thing, and this is what I want men to understand is like that's why you should not make a woman the center of your life. 100%. A woman is not gonna come. As him said, I like gold diggers too. Yeah, a woman is not gonna come and save your life, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you. That's just not gonna happen. Okay, so forget about that part. It doesn't matter, right? This is the point. You get the resources, you get the looks, you get the physique, and then yeah, your girl could leave you for a guy with more of those things. But guess what? You're still gonna have more options behind her. Okay, so you're not gonna care that much. And the less resources you have, then the less options you're gonna have if that happens to you. And actually, the more likelihood that it is gonna happen to you. Like, think about it. If you're like a McDonald's employee, right, and you manage to somehow get a girl, what does that tell you? Now you just know that your girl dates McDonald's employees. So now anytime you go to McDonald's, you got to worry like, "Oh, my girl might like this guy." It's ridiculous. Anyway, go ahead, Shiba.
Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting question. What happens if some bigger, badder, more richer, more fancier, famous guy comes up and okay, well, that's rough. But also, maybe I'm delusional here, but I don't think so. You have to have the right values in life and also have a vision. There's always going to be someone richer, badder. Does that mean what? She's going to jump from point A to point B? No, that's not how it works. You, as a man, build a life that you want, and a girl comes into your life. You build the vision that you want, and a girl can come and complement that. Just because you have $15 in your pocket doesn't mean that your lady is going to run to Jeff Bezos as he presents himself. If she has those values that she wants the richest man, all right, I hope you're happy with that guy. That's not the way to happiness to as a woman, at the very least.
Shiva, can I ask you a question just to interject real quick?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't a woman want a man that can produce resources?
That's
When we all know that a woman's main desire, main
I
I don't
understand.
even want to say it that way because I know liberal women are going to have a heart attack right now. Um, they're designed for having children. Okay, and so it's not that they're just out here digging for gold for no reason. Okay, they're looking for a man that they can settle down with. Most women, they're not just like 304s that are just trying to just sleep around with everybody. Usually what happens is they go from one guy and then that guy ends up either mistreating them or cheating on them or being mean to them, and then they say, oh, this isn't the right guy for me, I move on to the next, and then that guy ends up doing the same thing, and then they go to the next and they go to the next, so most girls that actually have a lot of partners, they're not really, most of them, and I can say this from experience, they're not, it's not usually because they're 304s. It's just because bad they just have a bad method of selecting the right man, essentially. But really what's going on though is that a woman should seek a man with resources because ultimately it's what's best for her children.
Yes, but that's not the only thing she should seek. Or just because he has resources doesn't mean, well, you're gonna jump into bed and reproduce. No. So if you're teaching your daughter, if I'm teaching my daughter, I would say, lady, okay, you want a man, yes. You seek a rich man if you can, but just because he's rich doesn't mean you should go and have offspring with him. No. At the very least, he has to display qualities that he's a rising stock. If you're choosing a stock, in the stock market, in the 5, 10, 15 years, it's likely gonna bear lots of fruits. So that's what's called ambition. So
I agree with that, actually.
just because he's rich doesn't mean much. And there's lots of rich guys like these Paul guys are rich. I would never have my daughter, hey, he's a millionaire, go. No, you better be with some poor man that has some values instead of those gentlemen.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's what I meant about women sometimes having poor selection methods because unfortunately, women tend to like to meet guys at the finish line. They like to get the guys who already made it, and that's pretty unfortunate because that ends up working against them usually.
In what way? Why?
Um, well, because if a guy's already made it, then he's gotten a taste of what comes with making it and what it would like. And I'm telling you this, like, again, from my own personal experience, I never made it to that degree, like to become top 10% of the men. But as I noticed, as I leveled up my money and my physique and my looks and whatever else, I did, start getting more and more women. And I knew intuitively that if that kept happening, if I kept getting more muscles, more looks, more money, it would just get worse. I would just get more and more girls. And so it gets to a point where for a woman it becomes kind of like diminishing returns. If you get the guy that's at the finish line already, then more than likely he's not going to be the type of guy that's going to want to settle down with you.
That's why it's so important for you as a woman to keep you know, your V card.
Yeah. So no, I would agree with what Shiva said is you should definitely look for, I think the best bet is, because this is the thing about it, and this is what I want women to understand. You get one life to live, okay? And so if you get a guy who's at the finish line, then there's no journey between you two. You just basically, he's already done everything he needs to do. Then you just reap the rewards, and then you take a couple of trips to a couple of countries. You have a couple of fancy dates, nice fancy restaurants, and then what?
Divorce.
Life is over, right? But if you meet a guy at the beginning of his journey, but you see that he has a lot of potential, now you have something. Now you have a story there, right? There's a hero's journey. There's a conquest to be had, and there's a sort of like a romanticism, right? From zero to hero with the guy. If you do that, now that's something that you should look forward to, right? I hope you get what I'm saying. There's like a movie there, right? Like I met my guy, he was poor, but I just saw that sparkle in his eye. I knew he was gonna make it one day, and I just stuck with him, and we went through so many rough times, but then eventually he made it, and we became rich. And then all of a sudden, wow, our lives just changed, and it's so amazing. That's definitely what they should do, but unfortunately, that's just not what happens in this day and age. Unfortunately.
Someone said, Creative Son said, none of this is important to me except Shiva. My friend, if you're a man, these are the three things that destroy your life, or the two things: is money and women.
Rider.
Don't let this don't not understand this. And yes, I'm a man. I want children in the future, and I know it's my responsibility to build the nest, as birds do. The male bird builds the nest, and then he flocks his feathers. Hey, come on, look at what I have. And the girl goes, oh, all right, and then she makes the children.
Yeah.
So I guess
I agree with that. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. Well, finish. I thought.
No, I was just gonna say the only part that I don't like to your approach is that you're about to be 30. So, you're already you kind of make it sound like you're this young man, but you're really midlife already. So it's like you never know what could happen in this life, Shiva. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. And I would just hate for you to be, because this is what you do. You idealize things, and you aim for the ideal. And you know what? You may never get there. And I don't know. I would just hate for you to just go through your entire life trying to reach this ideal and never make it, and then also have never experienced love of any kind. Versus me, who you could say, oh, he's had a bunch of failed relationships. Yeah, but I don't regret him. I'm glad I did. I had fun. There was passion, and then there was pain. Okay, I lived a full life.
Yes, it's scary to think I'm almost 30 years old. Oh my God, I should be an adult by now. Not yet. But realistically, I have until 33. That's when really things will change for me, and I'm working on it. And something else that you said, yes, I idealize things. These ideals are going to come true. So you watch, and I'll show you.
I hope so. Asm987531 says, we need to see a Shiva versus Carlos cold approach video. What do you think about that, Shiva?
I think that's a fantastic idea. Carlos has that wheelchair game, very comfortable. He's already sitting. I have to stand up and walk to them. I will do that. You'll watch me. I'll interact with.
I actually want to make it known. Can I make it known, Shiva? Like where we are the communities that we were both part of when we met?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shiva was actually part of the, what would you call it, AZD community?
Yeah.
Well, is that what it's called?
Well, we were both part of RSD. That's
RSD. RSD is one of them, and then AZD. But you were part of AZD. What does he call his thing again? I forgot what it was.
IMC Nation.
IMC Nation. Arash D Bazaar, who claims to be the best, the world's best pickup artist and relationship expert or whatever. And also, I was also in that world when we first met. I was more of a follower of RSD at that time, and this is when me and Shiva first met. And so I was very heavily deep into cold approach, and I think you went through that phase as well, right, Shiva?
Yep.
Let's talk about that for a little bit, because these guys,
it's RSD stands for Real Social Dynamics. It's a company by Owen Cook. He makes YouTube videos, and I first found them It was like a 1 hour compilation of them picking up girls or talking to girls in nightclubs. I when I saw that, I'm like, this is like me watching a superhero movie. I didn't even think this was
Yeah,
possible.
it was
And
mind blowing.
then for months, I would just study this, and finally, I had the audacity and the courage to approach one girl. It failed terribly, miserably. And then I was hooked and I couldn't stop. I got banned from many places, being socially inappropriate and saying the wrong things. But I guess it made me the person that I am today. So
You had to
invaluable
become
stuff.
socially calibrated. So talk about some of the. Let's talk about. I mean, I'm sure that you just talked about your failures in that world, but I'm sure you had to have some sort of successes as well, right?
Yeah, well, someone asked me if the relationship that I had, the longest relationship that I had, was like
No, no,
maybe.
no, 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 no. Before
Uh,
we get to that, we'll talk about. I just want to talk about because the pickup thing. Um. Oh, our dude, RSD Jeffy is my guy, dude. That's who I learned my thing that I deal with women, how I deal with women. Shiva, I want you to talk about some of your cold approach successes.
when you say successes, what do you mean?
I don't know anything, whatever. Because I remember when I used to watch RSD anyway. Tyler, no, not Tyler. That wasn't Tyler Durden. Owen Cook would give challenges, and he would say, "You do this or go out and try that, et cetera, et cetera." Did you ever do any of his
Um,
challenges or techniques or moves?
I lost my
And
virginity to this. So,
okay,
so I guess.
how was it? Tell me how it went. Tell me what you did.
Well, it was nighttime, nightclub, and I decided, okay, it's gonna happen, and then I went, and this girl left, this beautiful blonde female left
No, no,
the.
no. But please explain it in detail, Shiva. The
Oh
people
my
want to
God.
know about a Carlos versus Shiva cold approach.
Okay, okay.
So what I'm saying is we both already had that phase. Like we both did our cold. I
So
don't do cold approach anymore, by the way. Well, sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie, but like I rarely do it nowadays. I'm more on the side now where I attract women versus approaching them and trying to convince them to date me. But
that's the
talk
wisest
about talk
thing.
about talk about your cold approach times.
Yeah, so I.
How did
That,
you do it? What did you
all
do? How
right,
did
all
it?
right.
What do you think made it work?
Let
Get
me
into
talk.
details.
Let me talk for once, please. So, yeah, that's what I did. I got, I said banned from many places, but I always like to approach the most beautiful women. That's naturally what I like to do. It overcame lots of fear that I had, built confidence, and I got to meet lots of nice ladies.
All
And
right, all right, all right. So he's
hold
gonna
on, hold on,
waffle. All
hold on.
right, let me give you an example. Let
And
me give.
then,
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, so my lost my virginity to this. It's a nighttime, and I was with the
Yeah,
pickup
okay. So
community.
you're gonna waffle. Okay, all right. So let me give you an example of what
And
these people are trying to hear. Okay, I'll give you some examples. So, for example, one thing that what's his name again? Owen Cook. Well, one thing that he recommended was a challenge. He recommended several challenges for men to do as they would learn pickup, and one of them was I don't know which one I want to say first because I actually one of them I actually am not proud of, and one of them I just think it's funny. Uh, I'll say the one I'm not proud of first. Okay, so there was one night where Owen Cook went into a club, and before he went into the club, he started the video by saying that he was going to show the instant makeout technique. Okay. And I was like, there's no way that there is going to be an instant makeout. Like, what do you mean you're going to have an instant makeout with some random stranger? That's crazy. That's insane. They're going to hit you. They're going to call the police on you or something like that. And so I watched the video, and this man literally went around and he had instant makeouts with like 30 girls, like it was nothing. And again, I had one of those moments I'm like, whoa, this guy is like a master at whatever the hell it is that he's doing. And he explained what it was. And it was basically, he said, you need to raise a girl's state, her energy state to a level where she's able to receive a makeout, right? And you can do that instantly. There doesn't need to be time or long conversations for that to happen, right? And so it's funny how he did it, because what he said was to basically do this. He said, you walk up to a girl and you basically go, hey, like almost as like if like you recognized her from high school or something, like hey, it's you, like, oh my god, like where you been at or whatever. And then her natural reaction, because first of all, she's in a club, she might be a little tipsy, she doesn't want to be socially awkward. She might think like, oh crap, this guy remembers me, I don't I don't want to act like I don't remember him. She'll be like, "Oh, hey, like how you doing?" Like, and then like you guys both get excited about seeing each other, and then you just look her in the eye, give her that like, that contact, like, "Hey, I'm about to, and then all of a sudden you just do it. And when I did it, I promise you, dude, I walked into a nightclub after watching that video. Like, I went the next day. I walked into a nightclub. First girl that I saw that was attractive, I walked up to. Went up to her, said, "Hey, oh my god, oh my god." I got her energy all spiked up. She was like, "Hey, oh my god, who are you? Like, what's your name? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, come here." And then I just, went for it. And literally, this girl just starts, like, it's not just me, just like, just me just making out with her, and she's just sitting there awkwardly. Like, we were making out with each other for like a good like 30 seconds. She was loving it. Okay. And then guess what happened right afterwards? We stop, and then she goes, "Oh my god, I cannot believe I just did that." She was like, stop it, you're so bad. Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. That's so crazy." And I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" And she was like, "My husband's in the bathroom right now." Bruh. And when I saw that, I was like, I started laughing, and I was like, "No, no, don't worry. I was just having a little bit of fun. It was nice to meet you, And then I said hi to her friends, and was like, hey, girls, I hope y'all have a good night. Nice meeting y'all. Let me get out of here before your husband comes out and gets you in trouble." Bye. Walked away. 2 seconds later, did it again, like exactly the same move. "Hey, what's going on, man?" The girl's like, "Hey, what's up? We're like, who are you? What's your name? Like, do I know you from somewhere?" Like, "Yeah, what's up?" All of a sudden, boom. And again, she went for it, and she loved it. And then 10 seconds later, did it again. 10 seconds later, did it again. 10 seconds, did it again. I did it to like 5 girls before a guy walks up to me, right? And he goes, "Dude," he was like, "teach me." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because I couldn't at that moment, I couldn't conceptualize the fact that he had been watching me. And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Teach you what?" And he was like, "Bro, I just watched you. You just got here 5 minutes ago. You just made out with 6 girls, like 6 of the hottest girls in the club." And I was like, "Oh, you actually saw me do all that?" And he was like, "Yes, bro." He was like, "Dude, whatever the hell it is you're doing, teach me." He was like, "Do it again." And I was like, "Okay." And I like looked around real quick and saw some like hot girl sitting in the corner. Did the same thing, did it to her. Bro, one of these girls goes up after one of them. When I knew it was like a real thing, one of the girls actually goes, after I did it, this was her comment to me. We made out for like I don't know, 10 seconds or whatever, and then she's like holding me like around my waist, and she goes, "Finally, some guy who acts normal for once." Bruh, and my mind was blown. I was like, "Oh my god, these women are dying for men to do these sorts of things." You understand? Like they literally, like it, and all of a sudden it just clicked. I'm like, they get dressed up, they put their makeup on, they shave, they put perfume everywhere. They're out there to have interactions with men. You know what I'm saying? They're not there to just waste their time and go home alone. Like they want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to have a good time. And yeah, so they loved it. And after that, I was kind of like, that was fun and whatever, but I was like, it's also kind of nasty. So I didn't ever do it again. That's the one that I was ashamed of. The other one that Owen Cook gave a challenge of was he called it the silent approach game. And so this practice or this technique, he gave it for men who because he said that he would run across a lot of men who came up to him and saying, I don't know what to say when I go up to women. And he was like, you don't know what to say? He was like, you don't have to say anything. What are you talking about? He's like, let me show you. I'm going to show you today's video is the silent approach. And I'm like, okay, this got to be interesting. So he starts going up to girls, just like going up to girls and just being like, with like a little smirk on his face, going up to groups of girls even and just being like, and the girls are like, yes, can we help you with something? And he's like, and they're like, okay, but like, what do you want though? Like, and he's like, just kind of staying quiet the entire time, just being quiet. And the girls are like, and then like somebody in the group will be like, who is this guy? Do you know him? And then she'll be like, I don't know. He just came and he's not talking. And then all of a sudden the other girl's like, what do you mean he's not talking? And then she's like, make him talk. And then she's like, what? And then all of a sudden they're like, what's your name? Who are you? What are you doing? Like, what? Like, why are you not talking? Talk, please say something. Oh my God. Like, he's so funny. Oh my God. And like all of a sudden they love it. They're like, they start giving you kisses on the cheek. They start taking pictures with you. And you're like, and again, I did this. You can get Paul one time. He'll testify to this. I think it was me, Paul, and Dev. You know Dev. You know Devin. I think it was me, Paul, and Dev. Or I don't know if it was me, Paul, and Dev, or just me and Paul. But we literally started doing this, and that's exactly what happened. We would go up to girls, and we would just walk up and just kind of just be quiet. Like it would be groups of girls, like 5 or 6 girls, or 3 or 4 girls. We just walk up and be quiet and just like smirk. Always making sure that we had a cool, casual, fun vibe, not like serious, but like just smirking, right? And just being like, hey, let's go. Just and then literally, dude, they would love it. The girls would all lose their mind. They'd be like, who are you? You're so funny. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, I haven't even said a word. What are you talking about? And they'd be like, okay, if I give you a kiss, will you talk? And then I'd be like, and then they'd give me a kiss, and then it's like they would do it themselves. And then that was a big like barrier breaking for me experience, because I was like, wow, you literally don't even have to talk. Amazing.
Yep.
I can keep going if you want, but I don't want to bore you to death.
We're gonna move back to the original talking point of this video. The title of this video, who's better at getting girls? So we've brought up 2 points. Now I'm gonna give the closing argument. This is the third thing that solidifies my point in my argument that I'm better at getting girls than Carlos. And it is this, my friends. Who's better at the military? A person with an assault rifle that doesn't have any bullets? Or a person with an assault rifle, or even a handgun, a pistol, that has bullets in the chamber? I got bullets in the chamber. Can make things happen. If you're not practicing semen retention, no bullets in the chamber. Even if you wanted to do something, you got no bullets. You're useless when it comes to warfare. So come on, Carlos. Move out of the side, move to the front line, so that the real men can go and wage war.
Let me read some of my comments here. So I got Azam saying RSD Jeffy. I want to give a shout out to RSD Jeffy because he's the one who taught me the concept of, he also explained his experience with women was that he started off supplicating to women, basically like giving them everything they wanted and agreeing with everything they say and just, trying to be as unconfrontational as possible and being as accommodating as possible. And what he saw was that women would still break up with him somehow. And then he would experiment with doing and acting however he felt like. And then what he noticed was that women would still break up with him somehow. And so I remember he made this video one day where he was like, well, if women are going to break up with me regardless, then I might as well just do whatever I want, however I want, and then just have the same results. And I remember I heard that, and I completely had the same experience, and I took that on for the rest of my life, and so that's where I'm at now. Let me see. Azam also says I did the scream as loud as you can in public challenge multiple times. That's interesting. I never saw that one. Jimmy Crack Corn says peacocking. LOL. I never tried the peacocking thing. You ever tried peacocking, Shiva? Did it work? It probably would work.
Yeah, works.
I could assume it works because people be like, "Why are you wearing that?" Or don't say a word and make out challenge. Yep, definitely did that. Shiva is peacocking right now. Definitely is. Haha, AZM, Shiva, Shambho, and Los Lightning Legs. That's gonna be. He said that's my new nickname. You're Shiva Shambho, and I'm Los Lightning Legs. He should go to the club in this outfit. I agree with that. Shiva, would you do that?
I would do that. I will do that soon.
You're gonna do that? You're gonna make a video like that?
In some point in the future, yeah, likely will.
I think you would kill it. I think girls would absolutely love to come up to you and be like, "Hey, why are you dressed like that? Who are you?" Da, da, da. I think it would go great. He should go to the club. The triangle makeout stare where you look at their eyes, they're in their lips, and then back at their eyes. That is exactly, bro. He's breaking it down better than I forgot about that. That's exactly what you do. You raise their state, you look at their eyes, you look at their lips, and back at their eyes. Then they know what's coming, and you kind of get the sense that they want it to, and that's when you bust a move. Rutro husband alert. Yeah, exactly. Poor guy. RSD Jeffy had shortcut settings on the phone for every Tinder reply. LOL. Yeah.
Yes.
So absolutely, shout out to all of them.
Yeah, you know.
So Shiva, I don't know. I don't know. You know, like I feel like I've demolished you in every possible scenario. Like even right now, paralyzed. Like I'm still getting more girls than you.
Well,
I don't get it.
This is fine for if you want to put your saliva in someone else's mouth or vice versa. And if you're a boy wanting some sensual pleasures, I know for a fact if I went back in time, I wouldn't touch these women. Maybe I would go and interact with them, but I didn't have any values. I didn't have any standards. I just, hey, whatever comes my way. So now I'm working my life, and this is not what you want to do. You don't want to go to bars or clubs. This is definitely not what I want to do. You want to build your life in a way that properly. You want to build a nest and have a girl fly towards you or flock towards you. That's the most natural way of doing it. That's exactly what I am doing. And you just watch. Carlos will be very jealous of me in the near future.
Yeah, Shiva, the thing about it though is that I just don't think you're gonna be able to I don't think you're gonna even know what to look for. And I don't think you're gonna be able to pick up on red flags. And I don't think you're gonna know how to handle when a woman finally starts inevitably bringing chaos into your life. I just don't think you're gonna know what to do with it. And I didn't know what to do with it for a long time until I finally went through so many that I finally said, you know what? I'm putting my foot down, and this is the type of behavior that I'm going to deal with, and this is the type of behavior that I'm not going to deal with anymore. But it took me a long period of like suffering to get to that, and I just don't see that happening for you without going like foregoing that process.
There's no such thing that will never happen to me, or it'll be so easy for me. Do you know why? Because I'm not drawing blanks. I have bullets in the chamber, so to speak. And because of this, it's very easy for me to be dominant, a masculine man. You know what? You know how I deal with that? Look, there's the door. That's it. Go away.
AZM says the real question is who has the better beard.
That's a very easy one. I actually have a beard. I went by disqualification.
The homeless beard versus the modern beard.
Something that you pointed out a while ago. You gave me a compliment. It's a very rare thing that Carlos likes to do once in a while. Carlos said to me that, wow, Shiva, I actually respect that you have a beard because it's like you don't care. At least that part of it is accurate. Here, you see? This is not I'm going to get a job interview or I'm going to be accepted by all those people that are working at coffee shops or whatever they're doing. This is me living my life. You like it? Good. You don't like it? There's the door.
Yeah. I definitely give you that. So like, I don't admire it and I don't aspire to what you're doing, but I definitely can say that there is definitely a level of not giving a damn what society thinks that you have, which I guess in a lot of senses could be useful. But I think if you paired that with just a little bit of grooming, you'd be a lot more successful. Let me just read some more. I'm getting just a bunch of comments, so let me just read a couple. Jimmy Crackcorn says this is giving me flashbacks to Neil Strauss' book Rules of the Game. Oh my god, one of my favorites. The real question, okay, haha, Los got a nice square shaped beard. Thank you very much. Yes, I do. But then he says Shiva gets points for a majestic beard.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that. Very nice.
majestic. I like it.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, Shiva. The name of the video was "Who Gets More Girls," and I mean, if we're just going by straight data, like I automatically win.
All right.
I'm still, huh?
Yeah, you. I guess you win by the numbers, but
Hmm.
anyways, I conclude this episode.
I'm gonna conclude too, but I'm gonna make a prediction because I will say this: you are good at what you're doing because you've been doing it for long enough now to where you're getting good at it, and people definitely like listening to you, and even to the point of delusion, they're willing to listen to you. And so I do definitely predict that there will be a woman in your future. Absolutely. The only thing is that I think it's just going to take way too long. And I think it's just like unnecessarily long for no reason. I think you could just shortcut your way there quickly and easily. But yeah, whatever. I guess we could end there.
Yeah, as long
Shiva,
according to
Shiva's a
Carlos,
turtle in a long race.
according
Go
to
ahead,
Carlos, if I just trim my beard, a woman will be jumping in my bed tomorrow. Oh my God, you trimmed your beard? Let's have sex right now. No.
No, that would be a starting point. I would say trim your beard, like make it like nice and like modern looking. Get some muscles and get some money.
Well,
That's it.
I'm 2/3 of the way there. I'm gonna look like a wild man, not like a modern. I'm gonna look like a forest or a nature, not like, hey, I'm some sort of modern guy. That's always changing. Someone said quality over quantity. Absolutely. So if you're a lady out there, you're listening to me, and you're a nice, beautiful, healthy, attractive lady, reach out to me.
That's
Send me
been
a message.
untouched.
Yes, that's the number one. Should have started it that in the beginning. If you're a virgin, reach out to me and we'll chat. I'll give you a job interview or an interview. I'll interview you.
Yeah, and for anybody who wants to live my lifestyle, I'll tell you, I'll give Shiva this. You're definitely gonna deal with a lot of traumatized females, unfortunately, and whew, that comes with a hefty price. Let me just leave it at that.
Yeah. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want Carlos and I to give you a spiritual reading live on a podcast like this, you join my Discord and we'll do it for free, free of charge. I'll display my expertise. This is the reason why people pay me a bunch of money. You get to do this for free if you decide to, or if you show yourself on camera.
Yeah, absolutely. So for anybody, we actually did this yesterday.
Yes.
So for anybody who wants to see an example, go back to one of our channels. We both got the video uploaded where we had Ro on the video, and he came on and he had us basically give him our opinion on his life and where he can improve. And so yeah, if you guys want the same thing and you feel like you're willing to open up and be honest about where you currently are and where you want to be, and you want to hear either my advice or Shiva's, join our Discords. My link for my community, for my server, is in my community post section. If you go to the community post section under my channel on YouTube, you'll see a link there. You can join my server. And if you go to Shiva's, probably in his description of this video, you can see a link to his Discord server. So either one.
Yes.
Join it, and then we'll bring you on. We're happy to bring everyone on. So whoever you are, don't feel like you have to be anybody. Don't feel like you have to look like anything. Don't feel like you have to have anything. We're willing to work with you from zero to hero. And I want to make a comment because actually Lionheart tried to take a dig at me the other day, where he said because I told him that my content is geared more towards the top 10% of men versus where I feel like Shiva's content is geared more towards the bottom 10% of men.
Oh, really?
And so Lion tried to take a dig at me and he said, "Oh, you actually think top 10% men watch your like BS channel?" And me not knowing any better, I was just like, yeah, I don't know, but they probably don't. Whatever, no problem. You got me there. But then I realized that in the comments, somebody said I'm a top 10% earner and I watch Los all the time. So just wanted to put that out there. Shout out to me. And yeah.
So Carlos's channel,
it's like a fat one.
Carlos's channel, lots of top 10 earners, but on my channel, it's top 10 or top 1% intelligence. So likely if you're associated with me, you're one of the highest intelligent human beings that's currently walking this planet. And I give a shout out to you, Carlos. So you're likely in that category. We're going to drop down a few points, maybe like 6%, a little bit lower. But yes, my friends.
Cool. That's cool.
So,
yeah, guys, hit that like button for me if you're watching. Hit the subscribe. Make sure you follow Shiva Kailash at Shiva Kailash Shambho. And if you're watching me on his channel, follow me at Scary Hours Podcast. I appreciate everybody, all the commenters. Oh, look at Azim. I'm also a top percent earner and watch Mr. Carlos.
Oh, really?
Look at that. Another one for you. So
we'll just take your word for it.
Lionheart, suck a fat one. We now have proof of 2 top percent earners watching my channel.
Proof.
Oh, Jimmy Crack Corn. I'm a billionaire and I watch Los.
Oh
my God.
At that.
Getting better and better.
That's
look at Shaman ask you. I'm a Saudi prince and I watch Los all the time.
Impressive.
This is classic. Anyway, guys, that was today's stream. Comment down below. Who do you think won? And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you.